Hi guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Man, I gotta hold on. I gotta rearrange here. Shorts.
What?
Nobody's ever invented a pair of shorts that doesn't. Because I like a short now. Because it's the well. Am I making a bad decision? Was it the wrong choice to go short?
It's hard to tell from this angle.
Only one way to find out.
Hold on.
Okay. Whoa.
Oh. Okay. Those are.
It's an interesting link.
Those are a little bit Nazi youth. No.
They're a little, yeah.
You look nice today.
California King.
I wish I was the sort of person who could be high and mighty and say, boo, Amazon, I never buy anything from Amazon. And I'm very close, except in the sense that I get 6 to 8 things a day from Amazon, which is on me. I'm finding it more and more difficult to navigate the world of Amazon. And I'm finding more and more occasions where I feel like they're deliberately trying to fuck with me or where I've ended up on something that is obviously not the thing that it purports to be. Is this something that y'all encounter? Do you run into fake? Do you run into like fakes? Do you ever? Okay, like hornworms. Yeah, we got the good hornworms. Hornworms, those arrived. But I mean, have you ever gotten like a thing and it's like a cable, but it's not really that cable, and it's just a whole bunch of tape and packing, and it's not the thing you thought it was?
Well, when you mentioned hornworms, I know Roxana has definitely gotten the wrong size mealworm for the beardy.
Yeah.
You guys are buying worms? You're buying worms from Amazon?
No, it's technically from Josh's Hornworms. It's a very reputable operation.
Fair enough.
Shout out to
Amazon
Josh.
is merely the broker.
Let's take a minute to tell you about something I like. It's called Josh's Hornworms. Terms and conditions apply. Thank you for your service. I don't know. I just hate it. The thing that I do, so I do hate that. I know this is not a bit, except insofar as it's a bit, but there's the well-known thing of like, oh, hey, look, it's an Apple iPod or whatever. And you end up ordering this thing and it's not the thing you expected. The other thing that happens, this is how they get you. You go somewhere and you say, I want this particular size container in this color with this delivery avail. Very multifaceted. Then you have a tabbed interface inside of it. It happens with shoes. And then you click on the picture of the one you want and everything else changes. Now you've gone through a portal into a different world of retail. Has this happened to you? You click on something and suddenly you realize none of this is the same except for the shape of the shoe. Everything else is different. It's going to be 16 days. Just agree to pay a separate fee. It drives me bananas. I'm almost off Amazon completely. I have to be honest with you.
I have to say, I do miss the 4 to 6. I do miss graciously allowing 4 to 6 weeks for delivery. Like that used to be how long it took for things to get to your home. And it was wonderful because it created such a great sense of anticipation. And a man in brown would drive down the street and you think maybe that's my man in brown, but then it's not. And day after day, you're waiting and waiting. And finally, the man in brown stops in front of your house and he gets out and he walks up and he delivers your Boba Fett action figure. I'm going to say 7 to 8 weeks after the original.
Scott, I don't want to be contrary. I believe it is. Please allow 6 to 8 weeks for delivery. and whether or not you allow it, it's going to take as long as it takes. And Boba Fett is going to be in that box someplace you hope.
Which is 6 to 8 weeks when you're a kid might as well be a year. I specifically remember sending away for instructions to build a hovercraft from the back of a Boys Life magazine.
Yeah, out of a lawnmower.
Engine.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that it was unclear whether they were going to be shipping me the actual hovercraft at the time. It turns out that not to be the case, just a set of instructions, but it did take the better part of a year. So the ratio of
for a pamphlet
disappointment, real bad, crushing.
Oh, those were really. I mean, the beauty. And it's quite connected to what you were saying, Merlin. I mean, you're looking at something and you expect to get that thing, and then that thing doesn't arrive some amount of time later that you wanted to get, like Adam's hovercraft or the X-ray glasses, or so even the stuff that worked ended up being incredibly, unbelievably legal, like itching powder. Do you remember itching powder? It's
insulation.
It's just insulation. It's just a pinch of fiberglass insulation that you put in your mother's cardigan.
Look at
Jesus.
your grave discomfort. That's insulation, Mom.
Prank goods is really, that's a fine line. My son went through a phase where he was just addicted to prank goods, and he used to love to look at those products. And one of his favorites was the electric pen, which is terrifying and just
what'd that mean? Oh,
What
it
that
gives you a
means?
shock?
yeah. Well, you know when you're
Who's in scenarios where this comes up when you use my
when
pen?
yeah, when you're hanging out with your fellow 9-year-olds on the corner, and somebody's like, "Could I get a large?"
Hey, anybody got a pen?
Yeah.
I want to fill out some forms. Hey, my mouth's a little bit dry. Anybody got any gum?
I need to wash my hands.
There's the pack of gum that you pull one out and it snaps and it really hurts, and it doesn't say that on the package, but it should say, "This is fun for friends. It really hurts." Like
It's a mousetrap. It's a mousetrap that looks like food that you get from a comic book. That's a terrible idea. When does it cross a line, do you think? When does it cross a line from a fun... Maybe we could bring your son in for this, Scott, but when do you feel like it crosses a line from like a fun lark into something that could cause a pretty terrible injury and a lot of humiliation? Do you have a sense of that?
Those specific types of pranks, especially, I think the gum is a perfect example, because there's literally a hair's breadth of volition between giving somebody a piece of gum that's really a mousetrap and just fucking punching them in the face. Like what's the difference between assault and like a jape? I don't know.
There's probably a whole field of law about this, and when it comes to young men, I don't know how well this has been adjudicated, what article covers this, but I think it was Potter Stewart that said, I know a jape when I see it, but I don't know. I mean, like on the one, like there's like all things in life, there's a continuum. Like on this one side, you got like Kevin is home alone, and then he hits Joe Pesci in the face, or like, I love that movie. Keep changing Filthy Animal, but there are parts that are very upsetting to me. A lot of the stuff that happens to what's his name, Daniel Stern. A lot of the stuff that happens to the breaking away guy makes me very upset. I don't like when he walks on the Christmas ornaments. The things that are visited upon his feet are very upsetting to me, and it feels a lot closer to say Saw than White Christmas to me.
Yeah. I just, you're drinking glass, Mom. Like at what point?
I had so much life ahead of me. Who will take care of my children?
At what point is it just a crime versus a fun prank? Of course, in that case, it was in some. It was an artful self-defense, right? In the case of Kevin.
Did you guys have a fun prank when you were in like 7th grade-ish? Ours was called Cock Attack, but the prank involved, it was like sort of multi-layered.
Usually it's called something a little more roundabout. Ours was called Ballsack Burn. Usually it's like, Warn the Monkeys or something that's just a little
like
removed.
where you get a racist name like an Indian burn. Like in that case, maybe you call it an Eskimo blast or something like that.
Yeah.
What
was the cock attack?
A CA. The innovator behind this prank was named Nick Rodriguez. He came up with CA, and he would just say, "Hey, cock attack," and smack you in the nuts. That was the cock attack. It was a 2-step, because first you have to say it, then you have to smack your friend in the nuts.
Oh, otherwise it doesn't count. I see. Okay.
Well, otherwise it's illegal. I think if you've appropriately named something and it's well known
and declared it. This is the again. I return to my work in law with this. It's you have to declare it, and it's basically the playground version of castle doctrine. Like if you could, this is where I live now, and so I'm going to punch in your little dick.
Yeah. Your Honor, I realize I punched the boy. However, I did declare cock attack
I did declare cock attack. I will allow it.
You're Kennedy. It's very good.
I don't know why I immediately go to a bad Kennedy accent
Cock attack.
to defend a cock attack.
Your Honor, I said cock attack.
Your Honor, I rise with an objection here to the way we're treating this particular defendant.
Boy, it's true. My son comes home with stories like that all the time, which, by the way, I do think, and I have the oldest child out of the three of us, certainly, without a doubt, bullying is down from by and large, from our ages when we were younger. Bullying is way down. But crazy shit still happens. Like the bathroom in a high school in the break between classes now, as far as I can tell, and I'm speaking as the oldest human being in the world right now, as far as I can tell, it's basically a dance club. Like when you go to the bathroom, like you walk...
You're saying high school bathroom is home of the 5-minute party?
Yeah, and I don't want to say that my son... I don't want to say that my son has told me a ton about it. I've sort of picked it up over his shoulder and seen some other videos, but yeah, it's just it's crazy between like I've seen 50 kids packed into a bathroom in between classes, jumping around, and then some poor asshole comes in who has to go to the bathroom.
Somebody's got to drop a deuce, and it's like Total Request Live going on in the boys. Adam, you were shaking your head. Are you worried about the hygiene of that? Is it a more, if I could ask, I mean, I'm not a doctor, is it a more physical problem or a social problem? What is it that made you shake your head about the bathroom?
Physical problem. Nobody went in our bathroom in my school because it was terrible in there.
Ours didn't have doors. Ours didn't. I mean, my junior high did. I went to the junior high of the future. It was built in 1977, and I was there the third year it was in operation. And it basically looked like some kind of like Stanley Kubrick on mushrooms idea of like what the future was going to look like, an open plan. We don't have a library. We have a media center, and they did have actual stalls with doors, like literal doors that closed top to bottom because we're not monsters. Then I go to high school.
God, Jesus Christ!
Oh, it was heavily abused. It was basically a personal smoking booth. But then high school, I show up in high school and it's like Welcome Back, Kotter or something. There's no doors on anything. There's no doors for the bathroom. There's no doors for the stalls, and it's all horrible. And they're all just waiting around in there like some kind of being a den of thieves.
Yeah, we didn't have anybody in our bathrooms when I was a kid.
And so what do they do when they go in there to socialize? First of all, are they just inoculated to the smell? Because there's no way it smells clean. Unless maybe cleaning products have gotten a lot better in the schools since we were
flavored vape. Could be flavored vape.
Sure.
It could be a vape aerosol situation. I think my guess is that it's the last unsurveilled space for kids. Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's the last space that definitely doesn't have any kind of camera or likely doesn't have an adult in there to monitor anything. And so they all kind of huddle in there and turn on Snapchat and yell things at each other and cock attack. I don't know. I think it's where you have some time to make some high quality content that other teachers can't detect.
It's kind of a Mission Impossible situation, or what am I thinking of? Ocean's 8, like where they got the Sandra Bullock one, where they got to figure out what the camera angles are. Is there anywhere where the camera can't see? And right. They said that's where to throw the boys' dance party. So do you have any sense of whether the girls do anything similar? I don't want to be normative. Do they do dance parties? Are they giving people eating disorders? Like, where are they congregating that's not visible?
No clue when it comes to the girls' side of things, because I've only so far experienced it through my son, who has told me, you know, I mean, basically, you can't piss or I mean, you're never really going to take a poop at school unless it was like an emergency, you know, an emergency or an illness. Yeah. But yeah.
What if you're the kid in school that is so cool that he poops
that would be so cool.
That is so alpha. Level. Holy shit, that's so alpha.
How cool!
You just,
is that?
you just like walk in. Hey, what's up? You just go in there, door open. It could just be swinging around. You just lock in eye contact.
Yes,
as you're just sitting there, just in your own time. You have your own fucking tempo for this. You are going to be here as long as it takes. You're not looking at a phone. You're like two right here. You know what I'm saying? That guy's like, a baller.
Honestly, that really used to be one of my definitions of manhood, was the ability to just kind of take a shit like it was walking the dog. Like when I was a Boy Scout and we went to Camp Tuckahoe, the bathrooms there, I mean, it was like GI. We were like GIs in the Korean War. The facilities were no better.
So badly scarred by scout camp in general, and everything involving poop in particular.
Oh, imagine an outhouse. Imagine an outhouse, but 6 times as wide as an outhouse.
Oh God, I'm triggered.
And that's what we want, but with no doors on the inside.
It's like a cafeteria for shitting. Yeah,
just six holes in a bench.
Oh, Scott, I showed up. I must have told you this. I showed up and I was like, whoa, this is not going to work out. There was a whole lot about this whole situation that I knew from the minute I was in like the nice part of the camp, like where the phones are. I was like, this is really not going to be working out for me. And that's where the canteen is. You can go over there and buy yourself some penny candies. And, you know, this is where your underpants will be on display later this week. It's like, but then I go to the tent and the tent smelled so bad. And I was like, oh boy, I guess I better go check out the bathroom situation. Bathroom, kind of. It's really more of a tool shed. And who's the pack leader? Not a den mother. What do you call the head pack guy? The
Scoutmaster?
Scoutmaster. Well, he was in there. And so I walk in, and unlike your commodious facility, this was a 2-holer with a doorway.
We're going to be touching knees for a bit.
Well, let me give you, this is what I remember from 1975 is me walking in and the Scoutmaster seated. Come on in.
Yeah, come on in.
And I froze. You know, there is a third option. There's fight, there's flight and freeze. And I was like,
oh yeah.
I'll be promised to be clean and thrifty as I go shit in my bathing suit. It was thrifty, but not very clean.
I mean, honest. That's almost, I mean, when you're talking about pranks, that's almost like a 400-year cultural prank. To just
Scouts
set up a
in general?
Yeah, just any kind of situation in which that could be considered appropriate. Like, I don't think that kind of thing doesn't happen anymore.
I was 8 years old. Who sends an 8-year-old to watch a grown man shit in a wooden building? What is it? Baden Powell? Terrible Powell. Oh. Bad idea.
Yeah, one turn.
Shit,
one turn per day.
You know what we need? I mean, I think you need edgy pranks that are not harmful. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like there's like a little kid version of a prank. Like you get like an inflatable baseball bat from the carnival or something like that. Like how do you update pranks or bathrooms for today's modern tween and teen? How do you bring a level to that that's not going to be harmful? How do we accommodate the new changes in how we feel about, you say bullying. I agree. There's less bullying. There's also just less hostility. There's less of the gym teachers obviously torturing you because they're worried you'll be gay if you don't climb the rope. There's a lot less of that. So how do we walk up to that line while we honor both traditions? Is there anything that we could bring to that?
Well, that's one of the things we do have to keep in mind is that the essence of a good prank does involve some germ of humiliation or pain. It just has to.
My son, who's 7, came up with a prank just a couple of days ago where he gets mommy to pretend that she answers her phone, pretend it's the doctor and says, hello. And then that the doctor tells mommy that his little sister has to get a shot in front of her, which is emotionally damaging.
Can the sister hear it, or is it? Was your wife fooled? And could your daughter hear it? Who pranked?
This is the result of the prank is it. Yeah, the result is that my daughter is there listening to this and gets the bejesus scared out of her because she thinks that's the doctor. We told him that was, I mean, clever. Good job, because you have to positively reinforce. Good job for thinking of that
Right.
Yeah.
prank, but we're not going to do that because that's terrible. That's
You're doing like a cruelty
Right.
compliment sandwich. Also, I think as a prank, it might have been more effective if it was your wife that called him and said, "Bring ring, bring ring.
Right.
Oh, your sister's got to get a shot. I hope she doesn't hear it." That,
All right.
you know.
Yeah, I'll give him that note. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I mean, she's not, physically damaged.
We had some friends a few years ago. A couple of our friends had children who were very young, and they were really poorly behaved. They went through a rough phase, maybe 5 and 7 years old. And so the parents put them in the car, and they drove them to the jail. And they said, okay, I mean, we're going in. We have to... We have to give you guys to the jail.
It's no longer in my
because
control. This is
you're
on
not
you.
listening to what we're doing.
You live here
now. We talked to the police, and they said this is where you have to go. And I mean, as I tell the story, I realize how no bueno it is.
No.
But
Did it work?
It worked.
Was it effective?
It worked.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Ends and means,
It's true. It's true. Parents are often they find themselves at the end of several ropes at once, and sometimes you do crazy stuff to try and get your kids to behave properly.
So I derailed a little bit, but you were sort of like reaching for something that we could bring to the prank game.
Yeah. What would be a version of that? Version
to elevate it. Are these pranks for kids? What we're going for? Pranks for adults?
Well, I think the great pranks can be transposed to any culture, age, or situation. The pen, the electric pen is no different from the whoopee cushion, is no different from, shooting an apple off somebody's head.
So so if I hear you right, whether it's a Swiss Archer, whether it's a Scoutmaster in a bathroom, which is a terrific Morrissey song, whatever it is that you're doing, what you're saying is that there's the bipartite nature of it in this case,
right,
is that there has to be so what is a joke? A joke is a surprise. In order for a joke has to have something to it, and that extends to pranks, but it also has to be or seem dangerous. Right? It's like you say, a paradox is a statement that contradicts itself or seems to contradict itself, which also makes it a paradox. So in this case, what we're saying is the elements we need, whether we're trying to entertain someone Swiss or shitting, or perhaps in one of the several different kinds of boys' party bathrooms, if the schools reopen, let's be honest,
yeah, that's
we're
true
going to vis-a-vis, we're going to want to see some kind of a thing that walks up to the line of cruelty, but at the end you kind of hug it out and we're still pals. So how do we make it? Maybe you warn somebody that the prank is coming. You say, I'm going to pants you, so make sure you wear something that you don't mind people seeing. maybe you could bring in an element of friendship to
it's
the party.
true, but the longer the advance notice, for example, if Adam's so-called friend had sent him a letter 6 to 8 weeks before he was set to be cock-attacked, that would have been 6 to 8 weeks of dread leading up to.
It's worse. It's
worse, and let's be honest. That itself is a kind of psychic violence. So I don't know if a warning really helps. I think almost utter surprise, like, oh, how about oh, I got it. All right.
Okay.
Let's say we're driving along, and I say, hey fellas, guess what? And I'm driving the car, and you guys are in the back seat. I say, guess what? Guy just... No, that's not going to work. Never mind.
You ever have a friend that does that thing? A friend. You ever been in the car with somebody who thinks it's funny to turn off the headlights and drive really fast?
No, I've never been in the car with anybody like that.
Oh, same guy, Nick Rodriguez used to.
Is that the other one he invented? You said he had two. He had the cock attack, and did he have another one? Were there other innovations?
That was it. It was called get really, really high, drive your car really, really fast along the PCH. Way dangerous, way faster than anybody would even do recklessly, and laugh while you're doing it.
I would call it a night flight. A night flight. You go, night flight, lights off.
Oh, that's good too. What I was trying to get at before was the sense of a prank having happened without you knowing it. Like let's say you guys fall asleep in the car and then you wake up and I tell you guys I've been driving really fast with the lights off for the last half an hour. That scares you, but but you're also safe. You know what I mean? Like it's happened.
I mean, with a little bit of planning, you can make this fun for everybody. Let's say, for example, you do some kind of the prisoner's style knockout gas. So your friends are going to take a little nap while you're driving very safely. Where are you driving to? You're driving to the middle of a cornfield where there's a car that's obviously your exactly identical car to the one that you're in, same 8 tracks and everything, that's crashed, and it's in maybe it's slightly in flames. Your friends who've had the prisoner gas, you kind of jam them into the same position in the car, and then you wake up. They wake up and they're like, what's going on? And you're like, right. I mean, because they weren't really in a crash, but they got to appreciate like they had. Also, now they feel like they blacked out a little bit, which is a fun thing teens like.
I mean, if the A team can do it to B.A. Baracus, you can do it to Nick Rodriguez, right?
Is that because he doesn't like to fly? What is it with him?
Well, in B.A.'s case, it was because he didn't like to fly, and so they needed to put some sort of, I guess, pill in his cheeseburger. Did
B.A. ever do a C.A.? As far as you know,
I don't know, but I mean that is itself its own version of a prank. You've just completed your mission. You've just completed your mission in Venezuela, and then suddenly you wake up in Redondo Beach, and everybody's like, "Hey, you're here!
Let's go to the men's room." What?
A prank in the past, or I don't know what the right terminology for it is, but
kind of something that creates the dread, or like a retroactive dread in you, that like not only
post hoc ergo prank.
Yeah, like you knew that you were close to death, but also the dread of not having known you were going through that.
That's an addition. No, yeah. That's great.
Classic Soren Kierkegaard prank. That's a really good idea. Something that would give you a sense of retroactive dread that pairs so nicely with your dread about the future.
Yeah,
that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea.
Cock attack wears off in a good 4 minutes, but retroactive Kierkegaard prank stays with you for 6 months.
Oh, bro, I Kierkegaarded you so hard, bro.
Hey, man. I grabbed your ass. You got the sickness unto death, bitch.
Your anxiety at the concept of infinite choice in regards to faith was insane.
Why did you kick me? It's called a leap of faith. Cock attack.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, let's come up with a prank where, maybe, the great thing about pranks in the past is they could have gone on for years. Like, I never loved you.
This has been You Look Nice Today.
Kenneth on a King.
Thank you.